Good morning, all of you. Shall we start the class?
Good morning, sir.
Last day we have started the second unit. In that we have completed the introductory part for economic growth, like what causes economic growth, what we mean by economic growth, what are the determinants, and we have discussed one model also, Russell model of economic growth with 5 stages. In continuation with that last class, we are now have to study about the economic stability. I think I have to take the class here 9. Excuse me, I will change the screen. So this is the right PPT. Suppose after completing this discussion, one can answer these questions. What we mean by economic stability, whether this economic stability is important, how the economic growth is connected with economic stability, how the economic stability is measured, what are the determinants that we are using to measure the economic stability. Any nation, it may be a socialist economy or capitalism or mixed economy like India, what is the national goal relating with the economics, and whether we need global economic stability, what is the condition for maintaining the economic stability, and what are the measures to promote the economic stability. So these 8 questions we can answer after completing this class. Let's start with what we mean by economic stability. Actually, there are 2 things that we should keep in mind. One is called economic stability, another one is economic instability. Economic stability means the price should be constant. There would be any fluctuation. Inflation should not be there. Secondly, there should not be any fluctuation in the output. Suppose 5% of GDP means next year there will be 10%, and third year it will be 4%, then it is called fluctuation. This economic growth we should not. There should be a gradual increase, at least we should maintain that GDP. If we maintain then it is called economic stability. That is why economic stability can be defined as the absence of excessive fluctuation in the overall economic output. An economy with a constant output growth and a stable price level, then it is called economic stability. In the reverse, we may suppose the business cycle is very random. Either it will be in a boost or it will be in a depression, or that will be a excessive inflation rate is there, then it is not stable. It is called economic instability. So what we are trying to answer for this particular concept is, what we mean by economic stability is, the economic stability is the absence of excessive fluctuation in the economy. The next question in our mind, whether this economic stability is needed, definitely. There will be number of macroeconomic objectives, that is maintaining a minimum standard of living, avoiding unemployment level, of course other major economic objectives. These can be achieved only through maintaining the economic stability. If we fail to maintain the economic stability, these things cannot be achieved. In addition to that, once we start maintaining the stability in the economy, there is every possibility to generate more employment opportunity, and definitely the balance of payment will be favorable for us. Otherwise, it will be unfavorable, then we will be in a credit currency. That is why the economic stability is more important. How we connect the economic growth and the economic stability, there are three things that we should keep in mind. The connectivity between the economic growth and economic stability is two factors. One is called price stability and full employment. So how we can say there are three components in the economic stability. When we maintain a price stability, when we complete the full employment, and if there is a possibility of economic growth, definitely these three conditions will give rise to economic stability. In the reverse, suppose in an economy very high inflation rate, the unemployment level is not controlled, definitely it will affect the economic growth. In turn, the economic instability will exist. So how this economic growth and economic stability is connected? Because of these two components called price stability and full employment. Whether it is possible to measure the economic stability, in those days, the gross domestic product and gross national product is a tool to measure the economic stability. But nowadays, we are not using the gross domestic product. We are using a scientific method called inflation adjusted monetary terms. Based on the inflation rate, comparing with the other nations, we are saying whether we are maintaining a stability or not. There are some other thing is there called consumer price index and unemployment level and human index. These are all also the right tool to measure the economic stability. So with this, I'm moving to the next one. Suppose any nation, it may be capitalist country, it may be social country or a mixed economy, any economy should have these basic 6 goals should be there in order to achieve the economic growth or economic stability. The goals are how to achieve these 6, that is economic efficiency, economic equality, economic freedom, economic growth, economic security, and economic stability. Out of these 6, our macroeconomics includes 3 things. One is economic efficiency, economic growth, and economic stability. When we achieve these 3, the rest of the 3 will be in our hands. That is why in our syllabus, we have included 3 things. In the first unit, we talk about the economic efficiency through scarcity of resources. In this chapter, we are discussing the economic growth and stability. Now we are moving to a little bit higher level. Economic stability not only needed for the particular country, we should maintain a global level. Otherwise, if any economic crisis or financial crisis or excessive volatility of foreign exchange rate, that will affect the economy. If anything happen in the US, our stock exchange market is affected. Why? Because we don't have the global economic stability. So that is the challenge for policymakers or politicians or economists, that not only maintaining stability in their own economy, but also maintain the economic stability in a global level. Otherwise, the world economy will not survive. How to measure that? There are a number of economic crises have happened: oil shock, price shock, financial depression, Nixon shock. All these things. Even in 1929, Great Depression has happened. And that time only we decided that global economic stability is mandatory. Otherwise, the economy will not survive. Because we are living in a society, we are interdependent. We have to export and we have to import. So we should maintain a favorable balance of payment. All these things are based on the global economic stability. That is why if any change in the economic activity, high inflation, and any disturbance in the exchange rate, any financial crisis, definitely not only affect that particular country, but also the next country. That is why we should maintain the global economic stability. In order to maintain that particular, not only in national economic stability and global economic stability, we should have certain measures. How to achieve the macroeconomic objective by making 2 things. I already told you, a stable price and constant growth in economy. These 2 will always have, it will pave way for economic stability. That, for this particular thing, we have 4 stabilizers called fiscal measure, flexible exchange rate, flexible labor market, and monetary policy. These four are the automatic stabilizer to maintain the economic stability. The flexible exchange rate, sometimes it is called floating exchange rate. We will discuss one by one. The first one, we start with the fiscal stability. How to maintain economic through fiscal measure is proper tax system will definitely improve the economy because it will escalate the welfare of the nation. If the tax system is proper, we never face any economic shock like price fluctuation or also all these things will not happen once we have a proper tax system. That is why the Indian government have introduced the goods and service tax system. There will be a fixed rate of tax because of this GST. Now our economy is getting strong in economic terms. Not only that, this fiscal measure will boost for the next few years. The developing countries, less developed countries will be depending on developed countries, and developed countries in turn will depend on the goods, the resources of the less developed country. All this is possible only with one automatic stabilizer called built-in tax system. So the very first measure to maintain the economic stability is fiscal stabilizer. The next best stabilizer is floating exchange rate. The exchange rate is divided into two. One is called fixed exchange rate, another one is flexible exchange rate. The flexible exchange rate is always called floating exchange rate. Suppose any changes has happened in the economy, this particular exchange rate is adjusted and negative demand and supply will be eradicated. Suppose if there is a heavy demand for a particular period, then the supply will be increased. In terms of exchange rate, we have to adjust that. The currency traders will sell the currency and make the export price to the same level. So the currency devaluation and currency upgradation, all this will happen through this floating exchange rate only. When our exchange rate is flexible, definitely we can maintain the economic stability. The third measure that we have is flexible labor market. This is more important. Suppose if now we are undergoing a pandemic situation, the employers are not able to give salary for employee, 50% salary, all this they are giving. Suppose if any unforeseen economic in an unfavorable situation is happening, then definitely the aggregate demand will be affected. The labor will be unemployed. These will affect in a viscous circle, or the economy will try to deteriorate. What we have to do, instead of having full-time workers, let me have a part-time workers and they will be paid in a different way. So we can avoid the recession. Due to the multiplier effect and accelerator effect, the national income will not further down. That is why our flexible labor input always maintain the economic stability. However, with more labor required, the number of flexible requirements may occur. So it is like a two-sided sharp knife. We should handle correctly, failing which it will backfire. The full-time employers may go for the part-time employer, and we can reduce the unemployment level. Therefore, the first one is fiscal measure. Second one is that flexible exchange rate. The third one is flexible labor market. Definitely maintain the economic stability. The last one is called monetary policy. This monetary policy is a right tool for the government to maintain the economic stability. This is when compared to these three, nowadays this monetary policy is a right tool to maintain the economic stability. Why? Because we can encourage the small industry, cottage industry, all the MSME. The government will help, allow them to come and do the business. All these things, and currency devaluation, reducing the interest rate, these things will make the economy stable one. So what are the factors which stabilize the economy? There are four factors. I will repeat again. The first one is physical stabilizer. Second one, flexible exchange rate stabilizer. Third one, flexible labor market stabilizer. Last one is the monetary measure stabilizer. Once we understand how to maintain the stability, the next best what we have to do is how to promote the sustainable growth. Sustainable growth, which in turn the economic stability. There are several measures have taken by the government. I have summarized some of the things. There are 7 things which will improve the economic growth, which in turn the economic stability. The 7 are the technology policy, how we are handling the technology, and how we promote the human capital development. The third one, how we simplify our regulation, how to avoid red tapeism, and the government may provide incentive for the small and micro firms in order to improve the production. Of course, the fifth one is tax reform. That is, we are having a new tax system now, and how to increase the competitiveness between the firms and how to create new market. These are some of the measures, and we will discuss one by one. The first one is the technology. Suppose when the government want to introduce a new technology in an economy, definitely it will increase the production. But all of a sudden, the government cannot order. So what they will do, being a big economy, the Indian government will encourage a private firm to invest in the new technology. For that, they will give some grants. They will give a loan in a very low interest rate. They will provide tax holidays and number of provision to get the tax relief. All these things done by the government in terms of technology policy. Now I think 20 lakh crores have been invested, out of which 30% for MSME. Why? All these things in order to introduce the new technology, and we have to augment the gap between the demand and the supply. The next zone is the human capital development. We have to provide education and training and healthcare product. Then only there will be a development in the human resources. Failing which we cannot achieve the target of economic growth. How to make economic to grow? Maintaining the stability. For that, the basic need is we have to develop the human capital. Then the third one is how to reduce the red tapeism and how to deregulate the thing. Suppose we are investing in industry with our own territory, we cannot improve. So we have to invite the foreigner to invest. That is, there are 2 things called FDI and FPI. FDI means foreign direct investment. FPI is foreign portfolio investment. Using these 2 tools, we can improve the economy to develop or grow. So when you want to make other countries to invest in your country, we have to simplify your regulation. Unnecessary regulation should be avoided. There will be a single window system, and they have to come and invest. For that, we have to reduce the red tape and deregulation. And one more measure is providing incentives. Suppose the government is ready to give incentive for the micro level, small level, and medium firm to start a new business, definitely that will improve the economic growth, in turn the economic stability. The fifth one is tax reform. That is, for each type of good, there will be a different tax system, and depending upon the type of the good, the tax rate will change. Our GST is having right from 9% to 24%, depending upon the product, the purpose, all these things. The easiest way is to maintain the economic stability is creating the competitiveness and constraint between the firms. Suppose when we want to increase the supply for the required demand, the government will encourage a private firm to compete with them. They fix some target and promote the contestability. It will reduce the barrier to entry, because the government is also encouraging the private firm to do the business. For that, they are providing incentives, and they will create some market. A new area will be there. Definitely, the private firm will join with the public, and they will serve for the economic growth and economic stability. Nowadays, the government and private firms are starting a new market in order to avoid the exploitation of the new energy, and new trading method have been introduced. How? online market, the Amazon, Flipkart, all these things, but it's nothing but a new market only. Instead of saying, come and invest, we can ready to open the market for everyone. That is one particular market. We used to call it as waste and carbon credit. That means anything we say waste, sometimes from that waste product we can able to produce more. Because we have to identify what type of technology should be used for those products and produce a new thing. We used to call it as waste management. And one more thing is called carbon credit. Carbon credit means actually the amount is not transferred, but it is in the book. So, for example, in this pandemic situation, the government will give a loan to the micro small firms in terms of very less interest rate without any formalities. It is called carbon credit. Actually, they are not giving incentive; they are giving only the credit. But whether they give in physical money, definitely not. They will allow them to do the business, and any augmentation they will come and give as a subsidies and incentive. It is called carbon credit. So all these 7 measures make the economy a bright one. And with this, I am completing this class. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. For your sake, I will summarize again. What is economic stability? We have to maintain a stable price and the economic growth. Whether it is important, definitely. In order to achieve the goals of macroeconomics, it is mandatory the economic stability should be there. Whether economic stability and economic growth are related, definitely it is related with the 2 factors. One is called stable price and full employment. How to measure this particular economic stability? There are 3 things that we have to maintain. And what are the economic goals? There are 6 goals, right from economic growth, economic equality, economic freedom, economic stability, and economic, I'm sorry, which one I missed it? Economic efficiency, economic equality, economic freedom, economic growth, economic security, and economic stability. And coming to international level, it is mandatory not only for national economy, but also we should maintain international economic stability. Then only we can avoid the economic crisis and financial crisis. In 2008, there is a huge financial crisis. As our government have maintained the economic stability in a global level, India is one of the leading country avoid that financial crisis. Almost all developed countries also affected with that financial crisis, but India have survived in that. Why? Because they maintain the global economic stability. And there are few conditions for economic stability that I have already discussed. For that, we have to maintain the stabilizer. There are 4 stabilizers to maintain the economic stability. One is fiscal stability. Second one is flexible exchange rate stability. The third one is monetary stability, and the fourth one is flexible formatting. So with this, I am completing this class. If you have any doubt, you can ask me.
Good morning, Professor.
Very good morning, sir.
Yeah, the interesting class. I was also observing you.
Thank you, sir.
2 more points you can mention for the economic insulation against the financial crisis during the last year period, 2007-8. One of the reason is India follow commercial banking, whereas the Western follow merchant banking, investment banking or merchant banking. So that is one of the factor. The commercial banking protected as an insulator for Indian economy.
True, sir.
So that
sir, it is coming in the 4th unit, sir.
Okay.
So
you can
while taking the 4th unit, I will include
system,
it because commercial banking system, how they maintain their balance of payment, I have to say, sir. And that time I will include. So, otherwise, in the next class, I will take it, sir. I will make some introductory part in order to take in the 4th unit, sir.
Because students will have first knowledge about the system followed in India and system followed abroad in countries like US and UK, right? So
definitely,
thank you very much.
Thanks for your suggestion, sir.
Carry on doing well.
I need your expert comment about our online class, sir. Will you say a few words, sir?
Please, I need feedback from students.
Definitely, because sir. You can ask the student now, sir. I will let me.
Yes.
It will
yes, students, any of you? How do you find the classes going on online?
Yes, sir. Very
Are you
good, sir.
getting the same fit? Are you getting the same level as in when we meet physically?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Very
sir.
close, sir. Very close, sir.
In fact, I feel better
It's better in some ways, sir.
in some areas and some faculty members. In fact, we are getting a better outlook, and we also feel at home. And the traveling morning, hurry or avoid everything. You are sitting comfortably at home and listening the entire subject as to what you are looking for, right? So make use of all the classes. Don't miss, and the academic compromise should not be there. Even today, minister said there should be no zero academic year. Everything should go on, and with the complete insulation protection for the interest of students. That is what we are doing, and the faculty members are doing their best. I want full attendance in the classroom. The classroom should be with a full attendance. Professor, please take care of that.
Definitely, sir. Sir, from coming
And,
week, there will be full attendance, sir. Because of the arrear exam,
Yes.
people are busy with that. Hereafter,
Okay,
from
okay.
Monday onwards, there will be full attendance, sir. I will assure them.
Okay. Okay. So wish you all good luck and follow it. Make use of the opportunity. Don't waste time. We are utilizing and converting into an opportunity. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for
Thank
your
you, sir.
blessing.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for your wishes.
Thank you, sir.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay. All of you, give your attendance, put a present in the chat box. Let me continue the next class after 10 minutes.